Hello everybody, this is Grace and Glory. So I actually want to do a little series of videos like this where I don't edit much and I cover little tips and tricks, right? Tips and tricks that I've found in the course of labbing other things that are maybe not super important, but it's still kind of nice to know. Now this one is about Sonic, where he turns into a ball and wins the game. I don't like that. I don't like how he just wins the game with, standing in the corner, turning into a ball. Not a fan. I found something that kind of helps with that. And I don't think this is gonna flip the matchup on his head overnight or anything. It's nothing like that. But it is one tool in your toolkit that you can use against him when he does this. I mess with Raptor Boost a lot. I mess with the short hop buffered Raptor Boost because I'll scout out shields, and I will I'll do I'll go for a scarb at the end. But sometimes I'll also mess it up. You mess up enough things enough times against enough characters and you find stuff sometimes. So what I've found is that full hop, if you don't short hop it, but you full hop buffer Raptor Boost. Look at that height. He's a fair bit above the ground there. As it happens, that height is right above Sonic's ball form. So he is set to do spin charge. That's the one where that's down B, where he charges it up a few times and then releases it, right? The one time it does it. Wow, the one time. That. You either hit him or go over him, or you fall right out. It actually works really, really well. The first time it happens, obviously I get unlucky, but it generally is kind of good against that. It works really well against spin charge, but that's not his only move where he turns into a ball and wins the game. He also has spin dash, and so on my playback slots here, I have recorded different versions of him doing side B, down B, different jump timings, different so on, right? I'm going to fling myself at Sonic, and I'm going to use full hop buffered aerial Raptor Boost. I'm aiming to where it'll land about here, because sometimes he's, when he presses side B, spin dash, he slides backwards, right? He kind of moves backwards, and it's harder to aim to where he is. Spin charge, he stays in place. Spin dash, he slides backwards, right? So I'm aiming for somewhere around here with my Raptor Boost. Okay. Neutral reset. I did get hit there. The thing is, the only way he can really hit you here is if he happens to do the jump call out right at your height. Oops. Okay, neutral win for me. Neutral win for me. Neutral win for me. Oof. Neutral win for him. Kind of a nothing burger there. Right, okay, so the other interesting part about this, right? The other interesting part is while you're doing your Raptor Boost, your full hop Raptor Boost, there's nothing stopping you from doing Preemptive SDI, because you know as Falcon here that you're charging spin charge or spin dash, because it's kind of hard to react in the moment, right? So you know that you're reacting, or that you're challenging those. While you're doing your side B, Preemptive SDI. Preemptive SDI up and in. You do this and you're SDIing in the whole time, and it really makes it difficult for him to follow up. Oops. Jesus. Like that SDI in the moment makes it pretty difficult for him, I think. Alright, here we go, we're all set up. So, over the course of these games, I went and saved every single time that I did a full hop buffered aerial Raptor Boost at this Sonic. And I have 13 different examples in this little session I ran with this random online guy. So this is example 1. And again, bear in mind, this is me trying out the strat kind of in real time. So example 1. Okay, this one was a short hop. See, that's my old muscle memory kicking in. My foot's in the ground there. That's short hop aerial Raptor Boost, which of course loses, right? But look at that. We full hop aerial Raptor Boost right over that thing. Ba, 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 ba. Hello? There we go. And it just clean misses, because it's negatively disjointed, right? The actual hitbox is like right below Falcon's foot here. So you have this very consistent height that kind of just... It's kind of perfect, and it does detect him, right? So the detector for Raptor Boost in the air is bigger than the hitbox on Sonic. It's cool. And then, you know, you get the little... you kind of win that neutral interaction because he gave up his whole stage to do that. So one more time. Short hop, messed up. Full hop, and take stage. Not bad, not bad. And example 2. Boom, just hit him. And that was spin charge. See, he did slide back there, right? So that's why I try to aim for... and that's the other thing, because this is it's still aerial Raptor Boost, right? You do lose height at the very end. If you notice, I didn't bounce up very high. When you do start to lose height at the end, which is how you normally do your Scarb at max range distance, so if you do get that max spacing, then you can kind of press your advantage a little bit more there. Example 3. Okay. Alright, I mean, I'm not super impressed by this, like, you know, random Wi-Fi Sonic. He was holding that thing forever. But still, you can see the vision. Again, there with that max distance, this is why I say to aim for like the distance where he would have pulled all the way back to if he does spin charge. Then I did get the little minimum bounce, and that let me kind of follow up on that, and I very well could have killed him with that nair if I had covered DIN. So, not bad, not bad. I mean, that could have killed. You know, that's not bad. Example 4. Okay, in this one, he did call it out with the jump just a little bit, or I think that's actually the initial bounce of spin dash side B, and that bonked me, right? But look, see the SDI indicator? You do that preemptive SDI in the meantime, and I was pretty far out of the range. He couldn't back air me that, or wow, am I having a stroke? He couldn't back air me there at all. Wow. And then the obligatory whatever the hell this is. But yeah, the SDI thing does work, and it's really easy. Yeah, not bad. Example 5. Okay, so straightforward. I don't know. He's really telegraphing these, which really helped me to just throw out examples, you know, for the sake of this video. So, you know, we appreciate the kind of the homie spin charging here. All right, and example 6. So this is something that's like a little bit like 20XX, right? What I was kind of thinking in the grand scheme of things, you know how Sonic mostly does his spin moves to challenge landings? Like, that's the whole idea, right? He uses like spin dash and stuff while he's invincible, and he covers landings first and foremost. He covers the ground because he's fast, and then he covers the landings with his invincible ball. I think there should be certain setups maybe where you could find a good height like this. Like this one was just a full hop up air, and then I kind of manually timed it after the fast fall. Like, I do wonder, you know, if that's the move. You know, he's corner camping, and you could jump in, and then if you're really good, maybe you can get that that height that you would get from the full hop buffered so and so. If you can do that on command, that gives you a pretty decent way to pressure him in the corner. But that's a tall ask. That's like, you know, that's some lofty goals there. But I wanted to throw out the idea. Example 7. Again, there's that SDI. Right there. See? SDI in. I don't know what that is. but yeah, it does make it harder for him to reach, you know? So the preemptive SDI, I think, is a pretty good aspect of this. Here is example 8. Just a nice fall out of spin charge, down B. And again, you know, I took stage control there, but then he was invincible. Like, I should have just done it again, honestly. The fallout puts you in a pretty good position. And note the percent here. I'm up at 60, and I'm still not in tumble. We'll get to that in a second. And then, you know, he's invincible. Example 9. Okay, like I said, I recorded every single time I tried to challenge him with ARB, with full hop ARB. This is the only time where he actually called it out correctly, but he called it out like with the jump version, right? So he didn't really get anything much off of that. But this is like my journalistic integrity, mostly. Like, I tried it, and this time it didn't work out. Here is example 10. There's that SDI again. So this one, that was way too close, because at the beginning of his side B, spin dash, that little hop, that does kind of cause problems, right? But I did, yeah, see, got the SDI in there, so he still couldn't really get much off of it. Preemptive SDI is good. Example 11. Alright, and this is the percent thing that I wanted to talk about earlier. This time I'm at 88, he's at 88. Even matchup, I guess. So this time again, I got the full hop ARB. Got the preemptive SDI, you can see there too. It's just like part of the routine at this point. But this time I did get sent into tumble. So I guess if he's got enough rage and you're a high enough percent, that is something to be on the lookout for. And example 12 out of 13. Yep, just clean whiffed. So still, you know, at 11, I'm at 115 here, right? So if that had connected, wait, which one did he do here? Which one is that? I think that's side B, right? I think that's spin dash. He's just not moving back because he's all the way at the corner, but he turned yellow. I think that's a spin dash. But yeah, just went clean over it. So no complaints there, really. It just kind of, you avoid his minigame, you know, and I think that's nothing to sleep on. And example 13. Finally, towards the end of this session that I was running with this guy, finally, he shielded it. He was like, oh, he's gonna do that stupid Raptor Boost thing, and so he canceled it and shielded, and then I just got him with all reliable and went straight to the Falcon kit. It's Sonic. He could have gotten a better punish on that if he really wanted to, but it wasn't that good. So yeah, that's about the size of it. You can kind of challenge Sonic in the corner by throwing the weirdest Raptor Boost of your life at him, and it works more often than not. Like, it's not a checkmate for you or anything, but generally speaking, it does work more often in your favor than it does for his. And there are not many things in the Sonic matchup that you can say that about. So I don't think this is going to be significant enough to like shift the matchup to, like, you know, closer to even, but it's something, you know? Anyway, hope you liked it. Subscribe for more similar content. I'm really going to work through this backlog of just little ideas that I have just kind of had in my back pocket, but they weren't really worth investing in like a full video for. It's time to just kind of cover those. So go ahead and sub for more. Hope you like it. And hey, I hope this lets you beat up your local Sonic main. So have fun.